We are going live.
You didn't tell me it was live.
It's on YouTube. Don't worry.
You use the what?
It's gonna be on YouTube.
That's awesome.
Awesome. So yeah, now we are live. We are so excited to have you here, Brittany. It's How are you?
I'm doing well. How's your day been?
My day has been amazing. It's just been up and down, left, right. It's Friday, but
Yeah.
we're so blessed to be alive, and I'm excited for what we're about to have today. And you coming
Yeah.
to the room again in live mode. This is about to be serious.
I'm
Hey,
excited about this. That's about all the moves I've got.
it's all good. Tell me, what have you been working on recently?
Well, I've been having like some one-on-one and smaller classes with like self-massage. And then I was mentioning earlier before we went live that I've had this like epiphany about helping health and wellness professionals to get their copyright. So, blogs, emails, captions on social media. So I'm hoping that we can maybe touch on that like in another future kind of
Yeah,
podcast or live or something.
yeah, of course, definitely.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I've been up to. And you've been busy with all the podcasts and stuff.
Oh yeah, the podcasting has been going nuts. Like it's getting to a point where now I'm just wondering, like I'm on overdrive now. I'm just running through the streets of the podcast and giving people constant 1 hour shows, 30-minute shows. And it feels good because I just know that people are listening to this podcast. They're learning, they're taking notes, they're getting better. And that's what makes me happy that somebody can sleep better at night because they were able to hear something from someone that was on the podcast.
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure. You're delivering value all over the place. Clubhouse, Instagram, YouTube, podcast, favorites everywhere.
Everywhere. You gotta find me.
Yeah, you need to build in some breaks whenever you can, though. Like, I said that you're busy through June, so you got to put like some X's on the calendar.
Right? Like I'm not free on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Just catch me on Wednesday.
Exactly. I'm out.
Exactly. Wow. It's so good to have you here. I want people to
Yeah.
know more about you, what you do, and what's about to happen today.
Okay, so I will keep this messaging focused because you may notice that I have a foam roller in front of me. So my background, I am a massage therapist. I've been in the field for about 10 years. And Favor and I have another podcast out. If you haven't checked it out, you should go check that out. You can get lots of questions answered. So I love helping clients match to really good therapists. I love helping massage therapists really get clear and find their ideal client. So we're not doing that today, though. What we're doing today is we're going to focus on a little bit of at-home self-care, self-massage, and we have a few tools. So we've got, if you happen to be watching this live or even later, and you have any of these tools, you can give these things a try with me. So we've got a foam roller, and it can be like the smooth one that I've got. It can be longer, shorter. It can have the knobs on it. Whatever you've got at home, just make it work. And then, because I literally want people to have no excuses, we've got a lacrosse ball, which if you have a tennis ball, anything like a massage ball at home, you can use that. And then we have a rolling pin, friends, because literally no excuses. So I'm going to show you how to use all of these tools to help yourself in different areas. So it's going to be an interactive live if you happen to have anything at home.
Oh yeah, definitely. This is looking good. I'm excited to see how this is gonna run out because I have been hearing a lot about massage and therapy from home. And it was, I think, our podcast, not podcast, our clubhouse room that we had amazing guests. And there were also some blind people that came to our, and I was so shocked. Like, sometimes when I talk about this sensitive stuff, I don't want to be that person that talked about something that I didn't know about. So when I saw them, I respected them so much for them to even find the room, come
Yeah.
in, get up on stage, speak, and stay connected to the conversation. And that really changed for me. And I just realized that we have a lot of power to communicate. And wherever you are in the world, whatever you're doing, I think being connected to the right people and just being yourself makes you actually lovable and likable, because not everyone's going to like you, but the people that connect with you will stay. And that's what they did.
Mm-hmm.
They stayed. So I was
Yeah.
just privileged to be with them on our show.
Yeah, that was really fun. It was three blind massage therapists. and I'm actually still in touch with them. So one of them in particular actually hooked me up with a blind website developer, and I'm
No,
going to get my report. Yeah, she told me that it's hilarious. So the woman's name is Robbie, and we've been doing like voice text back and forth because she looked at my website. I'll get my report next week. But Robbie will do like the voice memo, and she's like, "Hey, it's your visually blind friend," because she keeps saying like how, you know, we all have different learning styles. Well, she really needs it to be visual, but ironically, she's blind, so she can't. So someone really has to paint this elaborate picture for her in order for her to get this vision in her mind. But anyway, yeah, I've stayed in touch with them, and that was a fabulous clubhouse room.
I would love to connect with them because I've never heard that before. And I think
Yeah.
it's important to actually note that because they are there, you know, they're available. They're people that actually need their services. They have skills, they're geniuses. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely ready to see that happen.
Yeah, I'll look you up. I'm excited to see my report. I'm like, I know I'm gonna fail half this stuff, but like, let me know, and then let's see how we can fix it.
Yeah, I would love to know more about what you've been also doing with massage therapy from home specifically. What has been going on, and could you enlighten us on what's been happening and what people should be expecting when they think about these things every day?
Sure. So you want me to tie it into the class, or do you just want me to share like what's been happening like since lockdown and everything, or a little bit of all of it?
Kind of a little bit of both, and then you can segue
Okay.
into the foam roller. That's what I really want to see.
I'm gonna
But
like leave this right here. No. So when everything shut down, I mean, all of us felt really helpless. We were scared and nervous. And I was trying to think, I'm like, I work on people, I touch people, I'm in the same room with them. Like, how in the heck am I going to help them this way? And I quickly realized that we can all help ourselves at home. I had already been teaching this self massage class in person. So I was like, okay, let's just translate this to video chat, FaceTime, Zoom, Google Meet, whatever. And I was able to book like many people actually just one on one. It would just be like this, minus the live factor, minus the YouTube factor. They would tell me what they were feeling. I would see what they had at home. Some people had all of these tools, some people had one, some people had none of them. I had someone working at home with a paint roller, not that had been used with. So, I mean, that's how like the idea for all of this stuff came about. It's like, what do you have at home? Do you have these self-care tools that are sitting at home collecting dust? Do you have nothing and you need to get like creative? So, you know, for the lacrosse ball, I've had people actually just ball up tons and tons of pairs of socks, because if you get enough of them, it's less intense, but you're still getting kind of the same input for your body in
yeah,
areas that you might not be able to like push or hold or whatever. So yeah, we got really creative. And with me moving, I moved recently from North Carolina to Vermont, and I wanted to stay in touch with some of my old clients and friends and like have like a touch point for them with them pretty regularly. And I wanted to get in front of new people. So I was like, okay, I'll keep these classes going. So I've still got it open. I'm gonna kind of feel it out for the next month or so, maybe. I've got Tuesdays at 5 and Sundays at 5 p.m. Eastern time. And we do the same thing. We walk through head to toe, front and back of the body, you know, common areas that people struggle with, and then some interesting connections that people aren't really familiar with. But me as a massage therapist, I'm taking everything I've learned in the studio and I'm applying it for what people can do at home. So it's really fun. And it's always like chill, you know, fun, laid back, whatever. There's tons of swear words flying around, you know, people are uncomfortable. It's like, you know what I mean? So it's like whatever. You have questions, ask me. You're feeling a certain way, say it. So yeah, that's what the pandemic inspired for me at least.
wow. What's the
Yeah.
first that someone has to do when this starts happening?
When like noticing stuff at home or this class, sit down and breathe. And that's one of the first things that we do. Like we just drop in with our breath, because I think I told you, but maybe not. I'm not a huge fan of stretching. And I treated it as an experiment over the last year after my physical therapist friend, she did a ton of research. I was like, you do the research, let me know what you find. She found that it was kind of like a net nothing benefit or detriment. So stretching really didn't do anything to move the needle. But the one thing that did was breath work. So every class that I try to start and end it with breath work if possible, just to get people to sink in and arrive where they're at.
Okay. Okay. I like that.
Yeah.
We should definitely try this breath workout.
You want to try it? Okay. I'll make us close our eyes.
Okay.
We'll have us close our eyes. And you can be seated, you can be laying down, whatever, if you're hopefully no one's watching this and driving or anything like that. So we're just going to take a 4-count inhale. We'll pause at the top. 6-count exhale. So you want the exhale to be slower. And I'll guide this a few times. 4-count inhale. 6-count exhale. So you want the exhale to be longer and just continue with the 4-count in and the 6-count out. You want the exhale to be longer so that you're dropping into that rest, relax, restore part of your nervous system. We'll take a few more rounds. 4 counts in, 6 counts out. And I'm going to drop away and be silent for a bit, but I'll pull us out after a couple more rounds. We'll take one more round. And slowly blink your eyes open.
Wow. That was I could feel it, like I could feel like you just feel air opening up as you go down. But when you now like get to that 4-second mark and you stay there, it's like, you know, you're swimming and you can't breathe. So
Yeah.
you come back down.
Exactly. And this is good for me too, because I mean, I feel like we all never stop getting nervous when you're on video. So for me, that's huge because if I don't stop and pause for breath work in the beginning, I just like immediately hop into it. I'm going. And inevitably I can't catch my breath at a certain point. And I'm like, okay, we got to breathe.
Exactly.
So it's a good tip for anyone going live or doing anything like that as well.
True. Especially when you're trying to run and set things up, or everything's connected, and then you just be like, whoops.
Exactly. Oh man, I love that. Yeah.
Exactly. Now with the foam rollers, what should someone do when they have this at home as a best practice?
Honestly, like the number one thing is like make it visible, put it in your way so that you will use it. I like to joke that I have to make it dummy proof for myself. So literally, if I have to walk to another room, I'm not going to use it. And that sounds really lame, but I found that a lot of people are the same way. So put it somewhere where you're going to use it. For me, like I've kind of behind this chair actually that's holding my laptop, my fancy setup, I've got like my workout corner. So I've got weights, bands, my yoga mat goes in there, as well as the foam roller. So that's where it hangs out whenever I do my workouts. I've got it nearby and I just do like, I mean, it doesn't have to be a lot of time. People are so under the impression that it's like, I got to carve out like 30 minutes or an hour. No, just like make it really short. Do like 5 minutes, 10 minutes if you have the time. A little bit every day goes a lot further than a large chunk of time once a week or once a month even.
Okay. So
Yeah.
when you talk about having that, should they have just one, or they should have a couple around the house?
Some people like so I'm a huge fan of the smooth one because have you seen the ones with like the ridges on it?
I have
and the
seen.
knobs.
So
by me using these two tools,
yeah.
I'm essentially pulling apart the foam roller that has the ridges on it. So the ridges are on there to get more intense and deeper into the muscles and the fascia. This does the same thing, but they're not connected. So I personally like the smooth foam roller, but get whatever you're going to use. If you're going to use a ridged foam roller and you're not going to use a smooth one, don't get the smooth one. If you're not going to use a lacrosse ball, don't get a lacrosse ball. Figure out whatever the thing is that you're going to use and be consistent with and get that thing. That's my little soapbox I'll give down from that now.
Okay, I like that. Now, when someone is done with the breathing, what should they do next? Because sometimes you just feel like, okay, I'm done and I'm just having crickets everywhere. But what should happen next? What's their next line of action?
That's a good question. And honestly, it kind of depends on whatever's going on in your life at that moment or during the day. I love to tell people to do the breath work when they are feeling, maybe you're sitting in traffic. Obviously, you're not going to close your eyes, but you can just sit there and breathe and pay
Right.
attention to the traffic.
Please.
If you're at home and the kids are like driving you insane, you can hide in a closet, you can sit on the couch, you can bring them in on the practice because I mean they're watching you, they want to do the same thing you want to do. That's a whole other soapbox. We'll leave that in the corner for now. But whatever it is, use the breath work as a tool. So if you're using that in conjunction with doing a self-massage class, just add in some movement. While you're breathing, you can drop into your body and notice what you're feeling. Are you feeling like your lower back is cranky? Are your feet hurting? Do you feel like a little tension in your neck? So as you start to be aware of what your body is telling you, those give you points of action. So I like to find 3 to 5 places to work on each day. So, throughout the day, I'm like analyzing, like, what am I feeling? How am I feeling? Am I holding a certain position for a long time? Did I sit and do a lot of computer work? Was I up on my feet doing massages for the day? So depending on what my body is telling me, that's where I'll focus. So hopefully that gives enough variety of answers for everyone.
It does. It does. I think it's really based on someone's mindset because, like you said, they could be driving, they could be cooking. It depends on what they want to do with their time. So now, if I don't have one, just like you said, with the socks and everything, I know you don't want to grab all your socks from your closet and then you start stuffing it
No,
up.
we don't.
You just buy a different pair and just keep that especially for that purpose. So now, when you think about creating all this practices, routines, every day, sometimes you may forget because, like you said, life could get in the way. But when you do it per week, what should you be expecting to see as a result as you do it consistently?
That's a great question. So similar to having people come in for massages regularly, you're going to start to notice some shifting happening. And what I like to remind people of is the things that you're noticing might change over time. So you may come in saying like, I have lower back pain and I have headaches. That might shift to wrist pain. I mean, it could be totally random. It could be, inner thigh stuff. It could be your foot. Your brain tells you what's going on, but it only alerts you to certain things because it doesn't want to overwhelm you. So it'll give you certain signals. You'll start working on that. You might notice that get better, and then you'll notice like symptom 2. So that was probably there. It might be new, but it was probably there. So, just kind of feel things out. So you may notice new things showing up. You'll probably notice like increased range of motion. You might just notice that you get more calm. That might be it, period. At the very least, I would love for people to incorporate breath work. And, if you don't have the tools, don't get stressed out. But if you can incorporate the breath work, that's going to be like huge. And that's the one thing I would say do every single day. And just do it for like 10 minutes, set the timer on your phone, close your eyes, sit down, lay down, use it as a tool when you need to. And just when you start to notice that you're more calm, more chill, you can kind of wake back up and go back to whatever you have to do in life at that moment.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that. And if you think about breath work, because you talked about stretching and you don't like stretching. Now, if somebody else doesn't like stretching, what does not stretching do that stretching does, but can still live together if you neglect either or? Does that make sense?
No, can you rephrase it?
Like if I don't like stretching, okay, let's actually
Yeah.
be very practical. I love stretching
Uh-huh.
before workout. You don't love stretching at all. You don't even want to do it. So if I do stretching and you don't, and we both do breath work, do we get different results after, or are we pretty much, are we pretty much one and the same thing?
I mean, sticking to what you love and just being consistent with it, your brain's going to be happy, your body is going to be happy. That's going to be good for you. So if you like stretching, keep stretching. If you notice benefit, keep going with it. Incorporate breath work because I think that will be great for you. But for people that don't really enjoy it or don't have the time for it or don't want to make the time for it, adding breath work in, like we could be besties because it's like an easy thing to do. They can incorporate it. They can ignore the stretching. They can whatever, So I think as long as you figure out something that you can be consistent with and that you're happy with, that's huge. Does
Okay,
that help a little bit?
that helps. It helps because it's preference. At the end of the day, it's not
Yeah.
really I have to, but it's a need. And if you can
Mm-hmm.
fulfill that, then why not? Go ahead.
Exactly. And everybody, literally everybody is different. We have different things that happen in our lives, different things our bodies are holding on to, different preferences, different things that make us happy. So yeah, figuring out whatever that secret sauce is for you is do that.
Uh-huh. Now,
Yeah.
when you think about the tennis ball and
Mm-hmm.
the rolling pin, what do you do with those things? Because someone's probably thinking, what am I supposed to do with this?
Like, is this a cooking show? Is this self-massage? I don't get it.
Right.
So here's how the rolling pin came about. I love sharing this story. I had a nurse as a client. She had a knee replacement and she felt like her kneecap wasn't tracking properly, but she wanted to see if massage could help. She didn't really want to go to any extreme solutions. So she wanted to come in and see if massage could help. So I had the thought because one of the connections that I noticed a lot, and I'm going to tilt this, so I like to warn people that this tilting does happen here. So your IT band is here. It's like the middle part where if you had pants on, it would be that line, that seam.
Mm-hmm.
This is what we're going to be working on, which is a quad muscle that's just in front of the IT band. If I'm facing you to the front, it's kind of off to the side.
Right.
And this guy is super important because it's the only quad muscle that crosses the knee and the hip. So if you're sitting down at a desk all day, you're doing this number, this is getting stretched. You go to stand up and there's a knot that's created in that quad muscle. It tilts your pelvis forward, creates, scrunching in your lower back and creates a whole host of other problems. So that's how this all came about. This woman had a knee replacement. She was a nurse. She was on the go all the time. She couldn't take something like this to work. She was on her feet all day long. So I was like, what can she do? Like, do you have an extra rolling pin? And she was like, yeah, I do. Looked at me crazy. And I was like, cool, take that to work. This chick, she had a pocket in her scrub. She carried this thing around with her all day long. And she used it whenever she felt like she needed it. And it made a huge difference for her. So do you want me to show how to use
Please,
it?
if possible.
I'm going to have to improvise. So if you are, how can I do this? All right, if you're sitting, my knee is going to kind of go down at an angle, whatever works for you. It could be relaxed, you could be sitting back, just lost my lacrosse ball. It could be resting and just foot could be hanging out, whatever. So find a comfortable position for you. I'm just going to be like this. And I'm going to take the rolling pin and use it kind of like a foam roller. So, I can go all the way down, come all the way back up, go back down. And the nice thing here is that you've got control over the pressure. And what I like to do with the foam roller is we hang out just above the kneecap. So you could hang out, you could kind of make like a figure eight or an infinity symbol. And then we could bring it back up. And with this, you want to just kind of pay attention to what you're noticing is feeling sensitive, is feeling tight. And then we can bring it back up to the top and do the same thing. So this isn't going to have really a ton of pressure, but it's enough input to your body where it's going to go, oh, okay, I hear the message loud and clear. So that's the advantage to having that guy.
Okay.
Now I got to find that lacrosse ball. Hang on.
It's okay.
The benefits of doing a live show.
Right? It's like anything happens.
It does. It really does. Okay, I'm back. So that's why the rolling pin can be so helpful. You can toss this in your car if you do have a job working at a hospital. Possibly. I don't know how COVID has impacted things, but maybe you could take this with you. Maybe you can have it in your car, go take a break and sit in your car, something like that. But I like tools that are mobile and can travel with you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now for the rolling pin, we know it's 4 seconds inhale, 6 seconds exhale. What's
the goal?
That's the goal, right? Those 10
Yeah.
seconds are what's vital for that practice. Now for the rolling pin, how many times do you do it? And do you just do it till you're tired? Or is there a number that you're supposed to reach on average that at least keeps that muscle and blood flowing?
Right. So we're kind of talking about the actual movement, right? I would say I'm a big fan of ignoring the time and going based on sensation. So maybe not going until you're tired, but going until you're noticing that the tight spots that felt sensitive and felt intense have started to feel a little less intense. That's what
Okay.
I would shoot for. Great
Okay.
question. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Because people are wondering, what am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to go?
They're just like, what do I do with this thing? I don't know. Yeah, for sure.
What about the lacrosse ball?
So that one you can use. I wonder if I should use this to show like an upper back one.
Okay.
So the benefit of having AirPods. Yeah.
Right?
So I like using I like using it in between the shoulder blade and the spine. So the shoulder blade and then the spine. You've got a lot of tissue in here.
Okay.
And what we're gonna do, I like to start lower and kind of close to my shoulder blade and breathe on it, move with it, and then move it up about an inch. So that's kind of what I'll show you, and I'll just show maybe a couple spots. I'm gonna turn my stand down here.
Okay.
Okay. So if I'm constantly tilting this thing with
Okay.
classes. So I'm just putting that, it's tucked inside my shoulder blade, like I mentioned, and I'm just gonna lay here. I can knock my knees together. I've got my head resting. Now, one of the things I noticed for myself is that I kind of clench in my sacrum and my hips. So I might just like wiggle a little bit to kind of get them to drop so that my body isn't fighting this. And then I'll just hang out. And it feels kind of intense, a little like burning, a little achy. So burning is typically fascia. And fascia is just like this big webbing, like a spider web that's kind of all in and around your muscles, head to toe.
Yeah.
It connects us, so it's everywhere. And sometimes it just feels a little bit like it's burning if it's bound up, if it's tight. And we breathe. So you could hang out and just take a handful of breaths. But I'm already noticing that those sensations are getting less intense. So what I would probably do is lift up and push the ball up about an inch or so.
So
And
like
then I've got some different.
so like to your upper back, right?
Yeah, if you
Okay.
can see.
Yeah.
So my shoulder blade is on the outside and then the ball is on the inside. And I'm trying to just relax my arms. You could have your arms by your side. It's kind of like whatever we all like either round in or we have different anatomy, the way our bodies rest. So whatever makes sense for you. If arms by your side is good, that's great. My shoulder blade kind of rounds in and pops up so it doesn't feel good. So I just kind of leave my hands on my stomach.
Okay.
So yeah, so you hang out. The one thing I will note is that usually in that area, there can be what's called trigger points. And all that means is you might feel some jumping or muscle spasming. You also might feel sensations going elsewhere. Like I felt it kind of rounding to the front of my shoulder, even though the ball was in the back. So hanging out there and just breathing on it is usually what works for me and what works for most of my clients and students. So again, just being aware and hanging out until you start to notice that kind of dissipate.
Okay. Is there a time limit as well for that too?
I mean, I wouldn't hang out on it for an hour. It's probably going to feel pretty sore. It's kind of like a massage, like hang out for a little bit. You really have to be present. So you really have to be mindful and paying attention. Maybe like 5 minutes or so, 5 minutes or less would be a good starting point. And I always make the joke that you can use this and do that while you're driving or while you're, on an airplane or something like that, because you're just resting your back on the ball on the seat. You don't have to do anything. You're not closing your eyes. You're still driving, but just making that point of contact can be really helpful for your body, especially if you're like, tensing up and driving, if it's like a crazy.
Yeah, because I got to know that when your bones are tense and you have a massage,
Mm-hmm.
it's hard for the massage therapist to really work through your body because of those limitations. Could you talk more about that?
Yeah, sure. So excellent point. If your body is fighting while we're working or while you're using any of these tools, you're not going to really have the benefit. So you don't want your body fighting against it. And that might look like a few things. That might look like if I did have my arm down when I was using that lacrosse ball inside the shoulder blade, I'm tensing, I'm compensating, I'm activating. You're going to find some people that are going to say, you want to be active while you're putting pressure. you're going to want to have a massage therapist put you through active things, which means you as a client are participating, you're doing things, you're moving things. I don't love that personally, but everybody's a little bit different. So personally, I would much rather you be resting on the lacrosse ball, laying down on the ground, using it while you're like before you go to bed or while you're watching TV, just having everything supported. Will I use it leaning up against a wall between clients? Sure, but I'm active. Those postural muscles that are keeping me upright are engaged. So I just have to know that it's not going to feel the same standing up, leaning into a wall with a ball versus laying down.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but your question was, like, where was I going with that? As far as like your body fighting it, like you want to try to find a place where your body can just chill, because that's what's going to help get your mind body connection, your nervous system to be like, okay, I'm all right, I'm fine. I can let my guard down. I can relax. I can let things feel good. So yeah, if you're in a massage too, like tying that in and you feel like you're fighting it, it is not a no pain, no gain situation. It doesn't have to be fluffy and like rubbing lotion in, but you don't want to be sitting there like, I'm fine, taking those short inhales, those short, shallow inhales, because that's going to make your body think that you're in a bad situation. And at that point, like if you're not feeling good, it's not a great situation. So yeah, hopefully that maybe touches on that a little bit.
Yeah, it does. Because my next question was going to be,
I'm just like future facing over here.
Right? It was because I'm literally going off what I'm hearing, and that's why I love the podcast, because I don't really write scripts. I know what I'm going to say. I have an outline, but I rather let the conversation do its job. Yeah. And because you mentioned about that particular point, now my question that was going to follow next was going to be, does someone gym or go to the gym before or after massage therapy?
Before. Please go before. I'm never going to tell someone not to work out, but it's much more ideal of a situation if you can go work out, run, whatever, be active, be physical, lift stuff, whatever, before the massage, because your body treats massage like trauma. You've got an external force, me, or you've got an external force, the tools, and your body thinks that that's slightly traumatic. Even if it's helpful, it's an external force, which is why your breath is so key, because you're aware that it's an okay, positive situation. So breathing is you telling your brain, which is then telling your body, it's okay, this is not a stressful situation. So doing it before is much more ideal.
Okay. I think before is good too, because I had left the gym, I think, for probably 3/4 of last year. And I went for my first massage. I went for the massage of the year, and then and the massage therapist was like, "Are you working out?" I'm like, "Nah, I've been really chilling." Like, and you can clearly, she's like, "Yeah, you're tense." And I was like, "Yeah, I probably got to do something about that." So as soon as I got back in the gym, especially this year, it's been back to back, feeling so much better. Even when I had the massage, I feel like it was worth my time, worth my resource, worth my spend of everything. And I feel much better. And of course, when you're done, you kind of get that cool sensation after. I don't know what it is, like getting out of the swimming pool. It just feels really fresh.
Yeah, it does. I mean, you've got, blood is pumping, everything is just like circulating. It's And then you've got also kind of got what I call like massage high, where you just look like, what's happening?
It's like, oh.
What am I doing?
Exactly.
I love that. I love watching that as people are coming out of the massage room. It's just like, yes, I did my job.
Right, because their eyes are rolling, their legs are curled up.
Half the time I'm like, do I need to follow you home? You good? You sure you're good? You want to sit here? You want to take a nap?
Right. Exactly. Yeah. What would you say is the major difference between self-massage while working at home or working from home and actually being treated by a therapist who's professional?
I mean, it's just kind of like what's available to you. Some people, I like providing stuff like this because some people aren't able to or aren't feeling comfortable yet to go out. I think most people are at the point where they're like feeling pretty good and they're ready to get out of break out of home jail.
Exactly.
So it did provide a nice option. And you can help yourself. And I love letting people or reminding people that they are capable of helping themselves at home. And it's nice. I mean, even if you're going in and getting regular body work, whether it's chiropractic, massage, acupuncture, PT, whatever it is, you can still do stuff to extend that benefit at home and to drop in and be a little bit more aware of what's going on with you on your own. And then you can come in and give us, the professionals, a little bit better cues, or I noticed this about myself. I noticed that about myself. It's helpful and it's great. And it's, really fun for us to watch people really drop into their bodies and really start to notice things, because it's really cool.
Yeah. And should they start off with home massage, self-massage first, or should they start with a professional to let them know what to do when they stay at home doing the same thing?
That's a good question. I mean, obviously, I'm going to say if you want to do stuff at home, like I'm a trained professional, I have the classes, like people can book stuff with me. Make sure you find someone who does know what they're doing and that you feel good with and that you kind of like vibe with. Because if you're in a class with someone and you're just like, what the heck are they having me do? Like, I don't like what they're saying. That's not going to be good. That's going to put your body in like a state of protectiveness, right? So kind of like the same thing where you're fighting the massage on the table. It is pretty cool to go have a massage done to notice things from, input that you're getting from another person. Just making sure in either scenario that you're finding someone that knows what they're doing and that you feel good about. I think those are two really key points.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah, I can see that. I can see
Yeah.
that. Now, I'm wondering, is there anything like a group massage?
You mean like a class or like a couples massage kind of thing?
Yeah, I mean, couples massage I know is available, but like a group, you know how you can have group yoga classes, or you
Yeah.
can have an aerobics fitness training program. Can you do the same for massages, or are they very sensitive to like couples and singles?
Well, personally, I had these kinds of classes. It would be an hour long and I would do it in person, and it was in a yoga studio. So I was like I was the teacher. I was like the yoga teacher, but for self massage. And everybody had their mat, everybody had their spot, everybody had their tools. I encouraged people to bring the stuff that they had at home that was collecting dust, or they just didn't know what to do with it, or to provide a space of accountability. Just like with a workout class. So I've done that. I've also done couples massage workshops. And pre-COVID, when I had a rental space at a yoga studio, I had multiple couples come into the same yoga studio space. I had some massage tables. I had some like bolsters on the ground to kind of mimic, like if you have obviously people have beds at home, but to like mimic having a bed at home and
Yeah.
working at home, just to make it so that people could actually transfer the skills to home life.
Oh,
So people seem to really like both of those. It provided accountability. I was someone that, I'm pretty approachable, so people can ask me questions and not feel stupid. There is no such thing as a stupid question, like just ask anything. And then the couples massage workshop was always really like chill but fun. It was like, in that 2 hour space, you had like this little family of people that were like, well, what are you learning? Or like, what is this person doing? So
yeah.
it was fun. Yeah. So there do exist things like that.
Okay. Yeah, I was just
Yeah.
because I'm sure some people will be wondering, okay, can I also do this? Because when they go there and they feel inferior or they have that inferiority complex and they see another couple, it's kind of like, okay, yeah, we can do it too. It's because it's just that self-confidence
It's like
that comes
I see you like walking in, puffing up your chest, like whatever.
right.
Yeah, that wasn't the feel at all. At least with my classes, it's like we're on the same playing field. I'm gonna learn stuff. I'm gonna show you stuff. I'm gonna learn from you. Like it's all good.
Awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
This is something I definitely have learned for sure. I didn't think it would be this intense because it is intense, I think, but it gets easier when you keep doing it on a consistent basis, right?
It does, yeah. And just picking stuff like, giving yourself really achievable goals. So giving yourself a time limit of 10 minutes, find like 3 spots that have been bothering you throughout the day.
Okay.
I have stuff on my Instagram if people want to go check it out. I'm available again, like send me a message, I'll send you a video response or whatever. But yeah, like there's tons of stuff head to toe, front and back that, some people know about the spots, some people don't know about the patterns. Like that quad one always usually blows people's minds. So it's always fun just like sharing with people and seeing what results they have or what's bothering them and being helping to be a resource for them.
Yeah, definitely. This is great. I think
Yeah.
it's a big step, and everybody that has not done a massage or had one should do
Mm-hmm.
one because it's vital, and it's just like you waking up in the morning to brush your teeth or take a shower or have breakfast or go to work or take care of your family. It's as important as breathing, literally.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can't breathe right, you can't function right, and then your heart rate is gonna be bouncing, and then you're gonna pass out in the hot sun of the summer. So you don't want to
That's the short version.
be exactly. That's the parody version of what you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Wow, this is amazing. Is there anything that I have missed, or probably something that you should be able to let us know about self massage for people working from home that I probably skipped or overlooked?
I mean, there's so many things we could cover, but drink
Okay.
your water, do a little breath work every day, like 10 minutes, don't kill yourself, and then spend like 5 to 10 minutes working on different spots with whatever tools. And if anybody has any questions, just let me know. If you are new to massage and you haven't had one, I love helping people find a good massage therapist for them. So I'll like, you know, snoop on people's websites and see if like they've got some keywords and yeah, I like helping people find good people to go see.
That's good. And how can
Yeah.
good people find you?
Oh yeah, that part. So I'm really active on Instagram and my handle is the letter B dot HERE underscore. So it's B here. It's a play on my name. Yes, I know I'm very clever. So I'm over there. I've recently fallen in love with reels. So I've got tons of those. I have a couple of the self massage class videos are actually posted there. So if you want to kind of get a taste of what it is, those are there. As well as my website is brittanyherzberg.com. Very long name. I'm sure we'll provide a link.
Yeah.
And on there is a link for the self massage classes as well. So I've got those Tuesdays and Sundays at 5 p.m. Eastern. If anybody is interested, I also book one on one with people where we can just hop on a Zoom or hop on FaceTime or whatever it is. So, yeah.
Awesome. And they can find all this on brittanyherzberg.com.
Yep. We've got
Okay.
tons of links and pages. And if you go find me on LinkedIn, there's a link in my bio as well that
Well,
drives
yeah.
you to different spots.
Speaking of LinkedIn, before we go,
Oh,
I was
yeah.
I just saw something recently today, and I was gonna ask. His name is Joshua, an
Mhm.
amazing guy on LinkedIn, and also of course on Clubhouse, and Joshua Lee, and he will. I saw something on LinkedIn while we were in the room this morning in one of the exclusive networking club rooms hosted by Marciano, and
Mhm.
I saw on LinkedIn that there's something called a LinkedIn creator mode. Have you
Yep.
seen that?
Is that the one that has the like your profile image can turn into a video?
No, it's the one that under your dashboard, you're going to see a section that says creator mode off, and you can actually
Oh,
turn it on. And I don't know if everybody has it, but I just saw it today and I was like, what is this? So I was just saying, I will let you know because you mentioned LinkedIn. What that
thank
does,
you. Yeah.
you're welcome, is that if you check it and you see it, you should be able to actually pick 5 topics in form of hashtags that is going to be created and put on your profile whenever you use it as a post.
Stop. Really? And it just like automatically tags all the posts that you make?
Think it features as soon as you make that tag. So like all the 5 hashtags that you create, if it's self-therapy, mental health, health awareness, something like that, and you use those in your context, either in your polls or your pictures or your
Mhm.
videos, I think it features in your profile as a creator of that content. So I don't know. I've not tried it. I just literally activated it today and just
Uh,
left. So I was not sure if you've seen it or heard of it,
no,
but
I hadn't. I know
mhm.
what I'm doing after this. Yeah. You'll have
Yeah,
to like maybe send me screenshots and help me walk through that. But yeah, I'm on LinkedIn as well. I'm trying to get a little bit better with that. And then with all your Pinterest stuff, I'm over there. I'm trying to crank that out too. I'm all
yeah.
over the internet. Right?
Also, yeah. Thank you so much, Brittany, for being here. You have been amazing.
Yeah.
And it's your second time on the podcast show. Now we're even
Not my
live.
last.
Exactly. Exactly. Thank you so much once again. And I'm wishing you a wonderful weekend.
Thank you. You too. Thanks.
You're welcome. Bye.